Hi, my name is Oliver and I'm a product manager for ID scanning at Scandit. In this video, I'm going to show to you how to integrate ID Bolt into an existing website, how to configure it so that it matches your website's brand, and do all of that in just a couple of minutes. ID Bolt is a complete ID scanning workflow that is very easy to integrate without the need of building a full scanning UI from scratch. As an example, let's consider this online check-in flow of an airline. Imagine that you're a developer tasked with adding ID scanning to this check-in flow. The goal is simple. When the user clicks this Scan Document button, we launch ID Bolt to allow them to scan their passport as part of their check-in. Let's get started by heading over to the Scandit dashboard. If you're new, you'll have to sign up for a free ID Bolt trial through our website. Once logged in, you can just click on Configuration here on the left-hand side to launch ID Bolt Studio, our interactive configurator for ID Bolt. Here in the center, you see all the settings and all the configuration possibilities that ID Bolt offers, while on the right, you see a live preview of ID Bolt itself. You can even click through it interactively to see the different screens, and you can switch between mobile and desktop views. The first thing you'll typically want to configure are the accepted documents. Since we're integrating ID Bolt for an airline, we want to accept passports. In the search field, I can search for specific document types. Let's say I just want to accept passports from Germany. I can do that by just adding the corresponding documents here. But let's revert back because I actually want to accept all passports globally, so I'll add any passport. I'll have to click this restart button here to apply the changes in this case. Next up, the validation rules. ID Bolt comes with a couple of validation rules out of the box, but you can also add your own. For this example, I want to make sure that a passport is valid for another 6 months. Once these rules are configured, ID Bolt will automatically reject any documents that do not fulfill these requirements. Now that we have finished configuring the document types, let's move on to the UI. What you see on the right-hand side is the default style of ID Bolt. And as you can see, it doesn't really fit well with the style of the website. So let's go ahead and customize the UI. The first thing I want to do is change the font. I can do that by uploading my own font files. I have prepared some files here that I can just select and upload. And as you'll see, the live preview reflects instantly all the changes you've made. Next up are the colors. So I want to change the primary color to that green bluish tone that we have on the website. I went ahead and prepared all the hex colors of the website. So I'll just copy in that primary color here, and you can see how now the button has the same color as on the website. Then this graphic here, it doesn't really fit. I could use my own graphic, my own image if I wanted to, if I had one. But I'm actually quite happy with the type of graphic. I just want to change its color to match the brand. So again, I'm using the same green color for the image. And you can see how it's immediately updated. Then for the primary text on the website, we use a very dark gray rather than a full black. And for secondary text, we use a lighter gray that I'm also going to configure here. And you can already see how ID Bolt is looking much more like the actual website. One thing that I noticed is that this link here, it doesn't really look like the link that we have on the website. Unfortunately, there are no dedicated settings to really adjust the color and the font weight of this link. But what I can do is use my own CSS. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll enable link style. And again, I prepared a CSS snippet that I can just drop in here. It essentially just sets the color and the font weight of the link. And as you can see, the link now matches much more closely what we have on the website. So that already looks pretty good. Now I want to confirm that I'm happy with what the end user will actually see at full size. For that, I can just press this Launch ID Bolt button here, which will launch a full instance of ID Bolt. I can even go through the full scanning flow. I'll actually connect a smartphone using ID Bolt's built-in handover feature. And with my smartphone, I will then scan a passport. And the results appear back here in the main ID Bolt instance. And it all seems to look well. It matches very well the website style. So now all that's left is integrate ID Bolt into the website. I can just go ahead here and copy this code snippet, which contains all the configuration that we've just made. I'll go to the source code of my website and I'll paste in that code snippet. All I need to make sure is that the button is hooked up to the Start ID Bolt function and that we're handling the resulting data correctly. That means the name, the date of birth, and the passport number, for example. And just like that, we've integrated ID Bolt into a website. Before I wrap up this video, I want to give you a quick preview of what we're currently working on. Soon, we'll bring an AI assistant to ID Bolt Studio. You'll be able to just enter the URL of your website. Our AI assistant will then visit that website, analyze all the styles, fonts, and color it uses, and automatically propose a configuration for ID Bolt. That will allow you to get started with ID Bolt even more quickly. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we can't wait for you to try this out yourself and let us know what you think.